I'm not searching for happiness. I'm searching for peace. So my state of what I'm aiming for, I would say it is peace. Because happiness for me, taking by this word, if there's happiness, there is sadness. If something can rise, something must fall. If you can attain something, there's something to lose. That's why it's difficult. That's why I stopped a moment. I don't know what type of happiness you mean. Being satisfied with where I'm standing, yes. Does it mean that I don't have hard moments? I have hard moments. And that's why for me, like, what is it I ultimately look for? I would call it's just peace.
When my mind is flooded with so many possibilities, I just have become more conscious in really deciding in what do I really want to invest my lifetime. Is it worth it to attain it that I'm working for right now? And if I still come to the conclusion, yes, even though this lifetime is limited, but to experience whatever it is, yes, it's worth it. I'm going to go for it. Well, then do it. The only thing I try to really prevent people from doing is unconsciously following structures and patterns and cycles in the imagination. It's going to give them something that they're longing for, but it won't. Why would I in the first place go into action at all? So why would I go into doing something? Because apparently something is lacking. Why would I set a goal? Because I assume that when I reach the goal, it's going to give me something that in the moment where I'm setting the goal, I don't have. So this is why doing or going into action or achieving something comes into play. Why would I need to achieve something if in this very moment I don't feel like I'm missing anything, that there needs something to be achieved? So this is where on the one side we have this area of doing, achieving, going into action.
And now just imagine you would be, let's say, the director of your own movie. Jump out of the body and watch yourself right now. You are sitting like with Shi Heng, we sit on the same table and you are writing your story. How do you want to write the story? After this podcast, you want to feel uncomfortable, feel unsafe, feel unloved, unsatisfied with the whole life, cry or anything like this? Or how do you imagine what is a really nice way of living for you the next 50 years? And based on that, purpose can be different. You say, I do like the travel. I do like to invest this lifetime in this body to have the feeling at least that I can contribute something to all the fellow brothers and sisters that are around there. It makes me like I wake up. I like to do it. It gives me purpose. So it is something very, very personal. I do not believe that every human being has the same purpose. But now there's another type of purpose, which is more or less personally for me. Why do I think that in the first place we have been put with all these possibilities? And positively said, I do think it is a blessing being able to just experience. It's a blessing that we have been granted the possibility of simply experiencing what this existence is capable of creating, including everything. Including the joy, including the happiness, including the tears, including the heartbreaks, all of this, without the separation, whether you prefer one area or not. Sometimes the one goes with the other. But the purpose, in a way, is just be and experience. The only thing that happens, and which is a big part nowadays, is if you take your current existence too serious. If you completely base your identity, your being on what you think you are. It's just a picture right now. Just sometimes make it very simple. Jump out of yourself. and be the director. Be the director of this avatar. And then it just opens another perspective. Because in that moment, you just realize it's like a movie. Not everything is always positive, but in the moment where there are times of struggle, still not being caught inside your own creation, identity, illusion of the self, different expressions for that. It's a very helpful way of thinking.
And the other part is, everything is good as it is. There is nothing to achieve. I am self-fulfilled. I'm self-satisfied. I am being. So we have being and we have doing. And this is for me literally, how do I find this balance between being and doing? Because now, of course, some people say, yeah, if all the time I would be just satisfied with being, well, then nothing would be done in this world in a way. Nothing would happen. So how do I feed my children? How do I pay my bills? So, of course, it is not realistic to just stay in this state of being. But at the same time, if you constantly doing and go into action, the result of this is you run after things, you achieve it. But instead of even holding on a moment and enjoy your achievement, be proud of you, of what you have achieved, remain a moment in this feeling of, yes, it feels good. The problem is that we already put the next goal and start running again. So one is just leading to the fact of you never stand still. You don't find your peace. There is no peace. And the other thing is you have peace, but you have no progress. And this is something that we as humans, it's very natural to balance out exactly those two areas and be very aware. You are not supposed to do nothing, but you are also not supposed to run and run and run and never arrive. Both of them are like pointless. And I do think this is the balance.
Everything that builds up a stronger and stronger identity. Everything that you keep from the past in your mind. The more that you keep the past in the mind, the stronger your identity is. I do think this is one correlation that also goes hand in hand. The more you keep past elements inside your mind, the less likely you will be able to break free into the future and open up for the possibilities that this lifetime might still have for you. Unbalanced energies that can translate into anxiety, that can translate into dissatisfaction, that can translate into continuously searching and never being satisfied. And the most common thing, not realizing how precious the moments are that you have. And instead of replacing them with illusions and dreams and assumptions, which are just not real.
I couldn't imagine that like attaining degrees or attaining whatever you like material wise are looking for, that this is going to be the purpose of your life. So going to work every day in order just to buy something that eventually you come to the conclusion you won't take it with you anyway. We came without it and we're going to go without it. So what is literally the sense of all of this?
A certain amount of self-control. A certain amount of discipline. You don't let your emotions run over you. Even if something makes you angry, it's not honorable. It's not respectful to now shout out. You shouldn't do it. Be able to maintain your emotional states, maintain your temper, at least to a certain extent. This is where I would say it comes to self-control. You have this goal in the mind. You put all your energy, all your effort into trying to achieve that. You're 20 years old, you're trying. You're 30 years old, you're trying. 40 years already, you're still trying. 50 years, you still haven't let go of the idea. At some point, hopefully, you see exactly how you personally already wasted 30 years of following a goal with the conclusion of two things. Number one, you haven't achieved it yet. Or number two, you didn't have the right way of achieving it. But the bottom line is you have two ways now what to do. Let go of the idea that you need it and redirect your life, or redirect your approach of how you still want to achieve that goal if you don't want to let go of it. But apparently one of these two things is not right. And the more you want your life in the future to be quite different than what you're used to, the more you need to be able to let go. Let go of patterns, let go of the way of thoughts that you had in the last years and months. Now, if nothing changes about that, there will not come a new life.
Now, if you look at your life, what are you? You are the representation, most probably, of all the ideas that other people have put into you. And if this feels unhappy to you, if you are not feeling well into your skin, well, you need to change your skin. Meaning, also starting to realize what actually is that type of stuff. What are these concepts, these ideas, these thoughts, these categories that people have tried to put into me, and slowly start to get rid of them. Returning back to the state, you came complete, you are complete. And now, because it's your life, stop wasting this lifetime trying to fulfill the wishes of any other person out there that have no interest in your life and that actually you also don't want to spend time with them. So don't take their advice so serious. What to do to build up at the same time now your self-confidence? Make yourself strong. Make yourself strong. How to do it? Always learn. If there is something to learn, learn how to clean, learn how to cook, learn how to wash the windows, learn how to repair the car. Whatever you can do, just do it. So that gives you that feeling. There is something that you can do. You're not completely helpless. It's about as long as you have a healthy body and a healthy mind, there are so many different options in this world you are able to express yourself in. But in order to do so, it is necessary to also engage in life. Meaning, if there is an option to learn, of course you learn. And then merging this learning together with learn to build up the body. So mentally, you're going to become confident. Physically, you're going to become strong and confident. And before all of this, you have started to release all the chains of the ones that put you into chains that just don't mean anything to you. So cut the chains and then start to use this lifetime because it's your lifetime. This one, only one time. So stop listening too much to other people, how to live your life or whatever. It's about the self-expression of your own perspective about how you would like this world to be. It's somehow always the fear of losing something, meaning losing something also in terms of fear of the unknown. So what are you losing? The known. Fear of the uncomfortable. What are you losing? Yeah, being comfortable. This is where I see where this fear is based upon. It's the resistance actually against growing. It's the resistance against finding out how big this universe is and what is possible in this world. What can happen is dependent on how much you can imagine. If something is not able to be visualized or being seen inside of your mind, inside of your world, that would mean it can't happen in this world. Rethink your life. Look at how is your life looking at the moment. How did you spend the last 5 years, 10 years? Do you maybe see some patterns in your life? Then you got the iPhone. Then you got the MacBook Pro, the big TV screen. Then the first car you had, a Volkswagen. Afterwards, you had a BMW. But there is a pattern behind there. Whenever you get what you want, you will realize that's not it. When do you start to realize the pattern that running after desires is not going to fulfill your desire? What you need is realization.
what you need is wake up. Ask yourself, your satisfaction about life, is it based on a condition or not? Because this is what I would see right now. Everything that at the moment you want to have, always when you say, I need this in order to feel complete, I want this in order to feel complete, then it means your satisfaction about life is based on conditions. As long as I have many followers, I'm happy. As long as I have a family, I'm happy. As long as I have the car and the big house, I'm happy. The fact is, you do not have a guarantee. You do not have a security that at any point in time, you're gonna lose these things. First of all, latest, when the body falls apart, you're gonna lose them anyway. I cannot base my life on circumstances where I don't have influence on. And this is exactly what this life is about. Don't base your life satisfaction on circumstances where you have no influence on. If you have, well, then change them in a way that serve you. But there are many things we don't have. Then you are realizing your life is in your hands. Your responsibility is make sure that inside you are always full, or that you are feeling full. No matter what happens on the outside, nobody can take something away from you. Because the gift that has been given to you is the existence, is this lifetime in the first place. We already have been given the greatest gift of everything, existence. Now, don't let anybody interfere trying to take that away from you. So that means don't outsource the power of having your life in your own hands. Don't outsource this to external circumstances. Don't outsource it to the amount of messages you receive per day. Don't outsource it to the number of followers. Don't outsource it to how big the apartment is, how many cars you have. If you can afford it, do it. Just don't make that emotional and mental attachment. This is the part. It's not about how many cars you have. You can have a whole garage full with all the luxury cars. That's not a problem. The problem is how much are you identified with your possessions? The identification is the problem. To have a garage full and just use them and enjoy them, and when you drive and the weather is nice, then it's really nice. But then you put it back into the garage, you go eat your meal, and while you are eating, the car is gone. You're not thinking about the car anymore. It's gone, it's standing in the garage, finished. Now you just enjoy the meal. Attachment is the problem. It is a process. It is of rewiring. How have you lived your life until right now? How much did it serve you, the way of thinking until now? And how much also did it limit you? These are all things every individual has to ask for themselves. What is it from what you have heard until right now that in a way resonates with you? You observe this pattern in your own life. And ultimately, the only person who can do something about it, it's not me. You make the decision. Your life is in your hands.